Good morning everyone. I hope everyone is fine at home. So first of all, I want to congratulate you that you have been promoted into the next class. Before starting first session, I would like to tell you about the book. Last year, this book which we have followed, this year too we will follow the same book. An Easy Approach to Grammar and Composition by Progress Publisher. If you have this book, then good. Otherwise, just focus what I am teaching here. And later on, when you will have the book, so you can see all the chapters and all the things, and you can match it, you can learn properly, more properly. So here different kinds of chapters are there. So today I will start the first chapter. Name of the first chapter is Kinds of Sentence. Okay class? In this chapter I will start with letter, then we'll move on word, then sentence, and I will tell also about the parts of sentence, and finally we'll go on the topic kind of sentence. Because knowing about the kinds of sentence, first of all you have to know that what is sentence and what are the parts of sentence, what is complete sentence, what is incomplete sentence. Okay, so just see here on the board I have written what I have written here. Yes, you can read it. It is S. Am I right? So what is this? Is it a sentence? Is it a word? What is this? Yes, it is a letter. You are right. So what is a letter? Suppose if anybody is asking you what can you define letter or what is letter, what will you give in reply? Just say simply this letters means letter is the smallest unit of any language. Okay, letter is the smallest unit of any language. Please have a pen or pencil along with a copy with you. So all the necessary definition along with the example you will note. Please make it sure. Letter is the smallest unit of any language, whether it is English, Hindi, Punjabi, Marathi, French, German or any language. Okay, is it clear now? There is one thing. Alphabet. This alphabet, many people get confused. What is letter? What is the difference between letter and what is the difference between what is a letter and what is alphabet? So no need to be confused. Letter is the smallest unit of any language. Whether alphabet, this alphabet is the group of letters. Understood? Letter is the smallest unit of any language, and this alphabet is a group of letters. When group of letters come together, so it frames alphabet. I think now this point is clear. What is the difference between letter and alphabet? Suppose somebody is asking you which is the fourth letter of alphabet, of English alphabet. Okay, I am asking you which is the fourth letter of English alphabet. So you will simply reply that D is the fourth letter of English alphabet. A is the first, B is the second, C is the third and D is the fourth. Is it clear now class? Suppose A. What is A? So you will just give reply that A is the first letter of English alphabet. I think this part is clear to you. Okay. Now everyone knows that there are 5 vowels. How many vowels? 5. And how many consonants are there? So total number of consonants in English language, that is 21. So this 21 plus 5, it becomes 26. Okay. So as you know very well, there are 26 letters in English. So this 26 letters make alphabet because these are group of letters. Is it clear class? Okay. Now, as I have told you, the first step is letter, and after that what comes? Sentence. No, after that word comes. Second step is word. Now what is word? In class 6 also you have learned what is word, what is letter, what is sentence, because as I have remembered, it was the first chapter only about word, letter and sentences. First in 1.1, 1.2 likewise, you have seen all these things. Yes, am I right? Yes class. So now after letter what comes? Now what the group of letters when they come together. Group of letters. When they come together, so they frame word. But group of letters should be come in this way that they should be give us complete sense, thought or meaning. For example, with the help of B. B is a letter everyone knows. B, O, then again O, then K. Here you are getting first letter, second letter, third letter and fourth letter. Total number of letters are 4 here, as you can see. So these 4 letters when they are coming together, so they are framing word. Understood? Book, everyone knows, book is the essential resource for the teachers as well as for the student. For everybody in this whole world, this is most important part, book. So book, here we are getting 4 letters and along with the help of 4 letters we can frame a word, and yes, it is giving sense, that's why it is word. Now second example I am going to give you. See here, S, U, N. Here you can see first letter, second letter, third letter. 3 letters are there. Is it visible to see? Okay. So when this 3 S, U, N, when these 3 letters are coming together, so it is framing, it is a group of words. Okay. Now S, U, N, everyone knows that the ball of fire is known as sun. Or in our solar system, the star which is situated in the center, that is called sun. So it is giving us complete sense. That's why this is also a word. Understood? Because it is giving sense, thought, meaning, and it is a group of words. That's why it is our word. Understood, class? Okay. Now after that we will move on sentence. So class, now please note down definition of word. So word is the group of letters which shows complete meaning or sense, that is called word. Okay. Now according to you, please write down some examples. Use your brain. You can write. It is so easy. You can write. Okay. But it should give some sense. Now after letter, word came, and after word, what should be there? Yes, sentence. This is our main part, that is sentence. Okay, class? This one is sentence. So with the help of letters, we have framed words. Now with the help of word, we are going to frame sentence. Okay, they are linked together. Now sentence is a group of words. Sentence is a group of words which shows complete meaning or sense. For example, with the help of that word sun, we are going to make a sentence here. You can see here, the sun rises in the east. Yes, it is universal truth. We cannot change it. Nobody can change it. The sun rises in the east. So here, the is a word. Sun is a word. Rises is a word. In is a word. Again the word. And east is a word. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total 6 words we are getting here in this sentence. Are we getting 6 words? Yes. So you can count it. So it is making group of words. It is showing group of words. So we can say yes, it is fulfilling the criteria that it is sentence. 2 more things are there. First of all, sentence, it shows group of words. Okay. Now second one is it shows complete sense. Okay class. First group of words, second complete sense. One more thing is there. It should show combination of subject plus verb combination. Okay, so these are 3 points sentence should show. First, group of words, second, subject verb combination, and the third is complete sense. If in a sentence, means if you can see group of words, as you can see, first we are getting in this sentence. Now second, complete sense. Yes, it is universal truth. It is right, the sun rises in the east, so it is also giving us complete sense. Now here you can see subject verb combination. Okay, you can see here subject verb combination. What is subject class? In class 6 I taught you, means if suppose any other teacher has taught you also, you must know what is subject. Subject is the doer of the action. Okay, subject is the doer of action. The person or the thing which we are talking about, the person or the thing who is doing the work in a sentence, that is called our subject. Understood? What is subject? Subject is the doer of the action. Now verb. Everyone knows all action words are known as verb. But besides action words, some helping verb are also there. So helping verb is also known as auxiliary verb. In helping verb tell us what is, means the given sentence is in which tense, whether it is in present, past or future. Okay. So this verb, it can be your main verb or it can be your helping or auxiliary verb. Transitive, intransitive, yes. In I think after 2 or 3 chapters I will tell you what is transitive verb, what is intransitive. So here if you are getting subject plus verb combination, then it is your sentence. Group of words, it is your sentence. And complete sense, most important. So it is your sentence. Understood? So here subject plus verb combination, the sun. Who rises in the east? Everyone knows which we are talking about, sun. So this part is subject here. As I have told you, the doer of the action is known as subject. So here the sun is your subject. Now verb. Action words or helping verb which tells about past, present or future, that is your verb only. Rises. It is showing some action. It is rising. It is coming out. So that's why this rises is called verb. So here we are getting subject plus verb combination. So make it sure that this sentence is giving us complete meaning, group of words as well as subject plus verb combination. This sentence is showing here. Okay, I think there is no problem in this example. Now after this I am going to give you another example. Okay class? Now second example is, you are living happily. Okay, you are living happily. This is the sentence which I have written. Yes, please, one more thing is there. Whenever you write a sentence, so the beginning of the sentence of the first word letter should be always in capital letter. Okay, sentence always will start with capital letter. Okay, so here you are living happily. I have written you are living happily. Can you see it whether it is a sentence or not? If it is giving complete meaning, if it is showing subject plus verb combination, and one most important thing, if it is giving sense, group of words and giving sense, then it is your sentence. Now just count. First word, count with me. Second word, third word, and this one is fourth word. Group of words, we are getting 4 words. So it is showing group of words. First is, okay, you are living happily. Is it giving sense? Yes, nowadays you are not coming to school. Means some are missing, but you should miss the school. Teachers are also missing you, and even we are missing our school. So likewise, also you must have to miss it. You are living happily because you are resting at home. You are with your family. Okay. So that's why, and yes, we must have to be happy all the time. We should live happily. So here you are living happily. Is it giving sense to you? Yes, it is giving sense. So sense is also giving by this sentence. Now the third condition is subject plus verb combination. What is subject? Who is living happily? Just see the answer. Who is living happily? I am talking about you. So this one is our subject. We are getting subject as I have told you. Helping verb should be also your verb, along with that action words are also your verb. What is the action word? Which one is the action word which you are getting here? Are? No. Leaving? Yes. It is a doing word. It is action word. So here leaving is our verb. Along with that are. What is this? Are is your main verb. No. Are is your auxiliary verb or helping verb. It is your main verb and this one is your helping verb, and helping verb is also known as auxiliary verb. Okay. So it is fulfilling third condition, that is subject plus verb combination. Okay. So you can consider that yes, this is sentence because all three conditions the sentence is fulfilling. Okay. Now I am telling you again what is sentence. Sentence is a group of words which shows complete meaning or complete sense, and always it starts with capital letter. Okay class? Now suppose I am writing one thing, I am writing group of words. Just look here. I have written here, in the room. Is it group of words? Just see, count. First, second, and this one is third. So here total 3 words you are getting. Yes, it is a group of words. In the room. I have written in the room. I am saying in the room. Whether it is giving complete sense. What is in the room? Tables are in the room, chairs are in the room, we are in the room, you are in the room. Okay. But we don't know about the subject here. Subject is missing here. That's why here it is not giving us complete sense. Understood? So this is not giving us complete sense. It means it is not your sentence. Then what is this? When it is a group of words, it's okay. But if it is not giving complete sense, then it cannot be your sentence. So when it is not giving complete sense, so it is your phrase. Earlier you read about phrase. It is a group of words. But if it is not giving us complete sense, then it is your phrase. So in the room is your phrase. Understood? Okay. So the difference is between sentence and phrase. Sentence is a group of words. Phrase is also a group of words. But sentence should show complete meaning or sense, and it is a combination of subject plus verb. But here in phrase, it is a group of words, but it is not showing subject plus verb combination. Neither it is giving us complete sense. Except phrase, sometimes also it happens that the sentence which is incomplete, it goes under the block of clause. This clause. Please make sure the difference between sentence and clause. Clause is also a group of words. Okay, it also shows subject plus verb combination. There are 2 types of clauses. Here there are 2 types of clauses. First is independent. Independent clause, and here the second one is your dependent clause. Okay class? 2 types of clauses are there. First is independent clause and the second one is dependent clause. So independent clause, it does not need any other clause or the part of sentence to complete its meaning. But as the name of dependent is showing, it is dependent on independent. So this dependent clause must need independent clause to show its complete meaning. This independent clause can be considered as simple sentence. If you are saying that independent clauses are simple sentence, yes, you are quite right. But here, if you are saying that dependent clauses are your sentence, then you cannot be right. I'm writing here, see, with the help of example, you can get my point easily. She loves cupcakes. She loves cupcakes. It is who is loving cupcakes? Yes, she. So doer of action is our subject. Okay, and what is verb here? Action word, you can see there is not a single helping or auxiliary verb, but here you can see action word. So this love is your action word, or you can say main verb. So it is a combination of subject plus main verb. So you can say, and yes, it is simple sentence. Okay, it is standing alone. There you cannot see any coordinating or subordinating conjunction or anything. So it is your simple sentence. So here you are getting subject plus main verb combination. So you can consider, yes, this is clause. But which kind of clause? Independent clause. Okay. It is standing alone, but it is fulfilling the condition that it shows subject plus main verb combination. That's why this is your independent clause. So if you are saying it is simple sentence, you are right. If you are saying it is clause, you are right. But see one more example. Whenever you want. I have written here whenever you want. Is it giving us complete sense? Is it? No. So it is your dependent clause, because for giving complete meaning of this clause, this part dependent clause, we must have independent clause before this. But we are not getting here. So it is your dependent clause, and dependent clause does not consider as subject because sentence because it is not giving us complete meaning. I think this is clear. Independent clause can stand alone. They are just like simple sentences. But dependent clause does not show complete sense, and it cannot stand. So class, dependent clauses cannot stand without independent clauses. Okay, this point is clear to you. Now we are moving towards parts of sentence. Okay. Before telling about types of sentence, we must know what are the parts of sentence. Sentence parts. There are two parts only. The sentence has two parts only. First one is subject, and the second one is subject and predicate. Okay. So sentence has two parts. First one is subject and the second one is predicate here. Subject, what is subject? I have told you earlier 2 or 3 times I have told you. Doer of the action or the whole sentence which is dependent on the main thing, that main thing or the person, that is called as subject. Okay. Now predicate. Doer of the action is your subject, and predicate, it is the part of verb plus object. Except subject, the part means in the subject, if you are getting verb plus object, then it is your predicate. Understood? Now doer subject I told, verb I told, now object. This point object. What is object? Object is the receiver of the action. Okay. Doer of the action is your subject and receiver of the action is your object. The person who is doing the work in sentence, that is subject, and the thing or the person, the thing which is receiving the action, that is called your object. As subject should always be either noun or pronoun. Subject can be your noun or pronoun, or sometime it can be your infinitive or gerund too, but noun or means after some days I will tell you what is gerund, what is infinitive in upcoming chapters. Now object. Object is a receiver of the action, just like subject. It is also either noun or pronoun. If you are getting adjective or adverb, then it cannot be your object. Object is the receiver of the action and it can be your noun or pronoun. Okay. Now there are two parts of sentence. First one is subject and the second one is predicate. Example I am giving. Your father is staying at home. Just find out only subject here. Only in one example you will find subject. In the second example you will find only predicate. Okay. Your father. Who is staying at home? Because of lockdown, nobody is going outside. Yes, and we must not. No need to go outside because of lockdown. So who is staying at home? Your father, my father. Okay. So here your father, that is considered as your subject. Understood? This part is clear. Now just write down this example. Your father is staying at home. I told that your father is your subject. Now just tell me what is predicate. Note down fast. Now please match it. Your father is subject because he is the person, he is the one who is staying at home. Beside that I told it is predicate is the combination of verb plus object or verb plus complement. So here we are not getting any object. Okay. Nobody is receiving anything here. So if it is not receiving, then how can it be object? So verb plus complement or except subject, whatever the word, whatever the parts of the speech which you are getting here, that is your predicate. So this part is staying at home is your predicate. Now second example I am going to give you. Thank you. I am saying you thank you. Why? Because you are watching me. Right now you are watching me. So here I am just saying you thank you. So what is subject here? Who is saying thank you? It is hidden here. But when their subject is hidden there and you have to find subject, means you have to find the different parts of sentence. So just do one thing. Please see the sense and according to that all the time please consider it. So I am saying thank you. So here what is hidden? I thank you, but I have written only this part thank you. So you will consider because it is hidden, but please make sure and take some sentence, use your brain, take some sense, then you will consider that here only I am saying, so I will say I thank you. Now what is subject? Who is doing? I. So I is your subject and this part is your predicate. Class, it is clear now? Okay. If you are not getting subject, but if you have to tell what is subject here, then never say that there is no any subject. Just see the sense, use your brain, you can find out. Okay, you can see, you can find out easily. Only you have to go through the sense and you have to check the line, check the sentence. Who is saying and who can be the doer of the action. Understood? So that can be your subject. Now we will revise from the beginning. In today's session, what I taught you since beginning, so I will teach one by one. Okay, let's revise it. First, letter. Letter is the smallest unit of any language. Okay, don't say only English. Letter is the smallest unit of any language. Now, what is alphabet? The group of letters, they are coming together and they are making alphabet. In English language, total there are 26 alphabet, 5 are vowel and 21 are consonant. 21 consonant plus 5 vowel together they are framing 26 letters and those 26 letters are considered as alphabet. Now the second thing is word. With the help of letters, with the help of group of letters, we can frame word. But it can show some meaningful sense. That is why only this is called word. Now after word, What is sentence? Sentence is a group of words which shows complete meaning or sense, and one more thing, it should show subject plus verb combination. Okay? Sentence should show complete meaning, it should show group of words, and it should show this condition too, subject plus verb combination. Three parts we have revised now. So after sentence, if you are not getting complete sense, then it is your phrase. Okay, phrase is also group of words, but if it is not giving complete sense, then it is your phrase. Now other thing is clause. Clause can also be considered as sentence because it is a group of words, it is subject verb combination, so it can consider as simple sentence. But please remember, clauses have two parts. First one is dependent clauses and the second one is independent clauses. So independent clauses fulfill all those conditions, those two conditions, subject plus verb combination and group of words. But dependent clauses should need independent clauses to complete its meaning. That's why independent clauses can be considered as simple sentence. But dependent clauses, it is not showing and it cannot show complete sense. That's why it cannot be your sentence. Okay. Now after clause, parts of sentence. So we have two parts of sentence. First one is subject and the second one is predicate. In subject, the doer of the action is called as subject, or the person who is doing the work in the sentence, that is called subject. Now in predicate, you are getting verb plus object combination, verb, either verb plus object of, or if suppose object is not there, object means the something, the one that who is receiving the action, what the subject is doing, somebody is receiving it, so that is called object. If suppose you are not getting object, so at the part of, at the place of object, you can get complement. Okay, so predicate is the combination of verb plus object or verb plus complement too. Except subject in a sentence, whatever you are getting, so these part goes into the column of predicate. These are the parts which we have revised today. Now about the chapter, it is our first chapter. Name of the chapter is kinds of sentence. Okay, this is the chapter, this is the first chapter. But before knowing what are the kinds of sentence, we must know about all the things, letter, word, sentence, parts of sentence. That's why only I told you. Okay. Now kinds of sentence. There are how many kinds of sentence? There are 5 kinds of sentence. Always remember, there are 5 kinds of sentence. I think in some book you are getting 4 kinds. That is okay, because nowadays we are not using one kind. Okay. One of the kind we are not using, but I will tell you because you need to know. You need to, because it is grammar. Okay. So you need to know about all the things, whether it is a small part or big part. So in kinds of sentence, there are 5 sentences. I am writing here. Please note down with me. There are 5 kinds of sentence. The first one is declarative. Okay. First one is declarative sentence, or you can say a statement, or similarly you can say assertive sentence. Understood? So first one is either you can say declarative, or you can say statement, or you can say assertive sentence. Understood, class? Now the second one is, I will tell you about each and every one by one. I will tell you. Okay. So here declarative sentence or a statement or assertive sentence shows some idea, fact or a statement about anything. If these sentences shows idea, fact, then you can consider that this part is declarative or assertive sentence. Understood? It should always end with full stop. In the last, always you will have to put full stop because it is declarative or assertive or a statement. Don't be confused. If I'm saying assertive, then it means this one only. If I'm saying declarative, then this one only. If I'm saying a statement, the same thing. Okay? But you, as I have told you, whenever you are writing a sentence, so you will start with capital letter only. So it starts with capital letter and it ends with full stop. Okay? Now declarative sentences, it shows facts or a statement or idea about anything. Now this declarative has also two parts. This declarative has also two parts. First is affirmative sentence. Affirmative sentence, and the second one is negative sentence. Okay? This declarative has two parts. First one is affirmative and the second one is negative sentence. Affirmative sentence shows positivity. If in a sentence, if it is showing fact and if you are getting positivity in the sentence, then it is considered as affirmative sentence. And these two affirmative sentence and negative sentences are the parts of declarative sentence only. Now, negative sentence. Negative sentences shows negation or negativity. In negative sentence, you will get the words like no, not, never, nothing. If you are getting the word which shows negation or negativity, it means it goes under negativity sentence. Okay? Now, let's see some examples. Affirmative. In affirmative sentence, first of all, I will give you example of affirmative sentence. India is our nation. Is it a fact? India is our nation. You are living in India. So India is our nation. We are living in this country. That's why this is our nation. Yes, it is a fact. And it is showing positivity. Are you getting any word, any negativity? Means any negation word, just like no, not, never, nothing. No. So here it is showing positivity along with it is showing fact. So it is your affirmative sentence. Understood? Understood, class? Now second. Now see the example of negative sentence. Okay, affirmative I told you. Now just see the example of negative sentence. You do not waste time. I have written here, you do not waste time. You are a good child, so you are not wasting your time. You are utilizing it. Always you are utilizing your time. That's why this example is for you. You do not waste your time. Okay, but see the sense. I told you earlier, if you are getting the word no, not, no, not, nothing, neither, so it shows negativity. So here we are getting the word not. It is your negative sentence. Okay? If it is showing positivity, then it is your affirmative. And if it is showing negation, then it is your negative sentence. And this affirmative and negative are parts of declarative sentence. I think this is clear to you. Please don't forget to note down all the things. Now, the second kind is interrogative. Everyone is familiar with this sentence. Interrogative sentence. This interrogative sentence is used to ask question. When we are asking questions, so we are using interrogative sentence. It is so simple. Okay. If you are asking questions, so you are using interrogative sentence. And it always ends with question mark. Okay. It always ends with question mark. Now, interrogative sentence also has two parts. First one is yes no type. Second one is WH type. Like first declarative sentence, interrogative sentence has also two parts. First one is yes no type and the second one is WH type. Now yes no type. If I'm asking you anything and if you can simply give reply in yes or no. Okay. And if my question is started with helping verb or auxiliary verb and you can simply just give reply in yes or no, so it goes into yes no type. Suppose I'm asking you, are you following lockdown? So you will say yes because everyone is following. My question is, are you following lockdown? This I'm writing in yes no type. Example I'm writing, are you following lockdown? Now you can see here are. What is are? Are is our helping verb. In present tense we are using are. Okay, I am asking in present because lockdown is going on in this situation. So are is showing helping verb and it is end with question mark. So it is yes no type only. So you will just give simply reply yes, and yes itself is giving complete meaning to me. That's why this goes in yes no type. Now second part is WH type. Okay. In WH type, this type of question start with WH word. WH word means question word. What, where, when, who, how. Always remember this how. This how. H-O-W how. It is not started with WH. Okay. But it is asking question. We are using this word to ask question. That's why this is also how. And how is your WH word? How many, how much, these all words are your WH word only. Okay, so don't be confused. How is your WH word along with how many and how much, these are also your WH word. So in WH word, WH type question, you need to WH word to ask the question, and the answer of those type of questions should be in complete sentence. Suppose I am asking you, what is your name? So you will just simply say, my name is Priya, my name is Rahul, or anything. You can say whatever your name is. You have to give answer in full sentence. So WH type question should give answer in full sentence. I am writing one thing. What is COVID-19? I have written here, what is COVID-19? First condition WH. It is WH question word. So first condition we are getting here. What is COVID-19? In the last, as I have told you, interrogative and interrogative. In the last you are getting question mark. Question mark you are getting. So now what is COVID-19? My question is this, what is COVID-19? You will say COVID-19 is a disease. Okay. Which is caused by the virus coronavirus. Okay. Name of the virus is coronavirus. This CO means corona, VI virus, D means disease, and 19 because it came in 2019. That's why COVID-19 stands for coronavirus disease 2019. Okay, so you have to give answer of this question in full sentence. That's why this is WH type question. Understood? Now, declarative I have cleared you. Interrogative I have cleared. Now the third one is imperative sentence. Okay. Third one is imperative sentence. What is imperative sentence? Imperative sentence shows request, command, order, suggestion, advice. If any sentence you are getting, and if it is showing command, suggestion, request, advice, so this is your imperative sentence. Sometimes it ends with exclamatory mark. Okay, sometimes it ends with exclamatory mark, and sometimes it ends with full stop. When it will end with exclamatory mark? Now please give you all the focus. Please pay attention here. If I am saying, if somebody is giving any command to you, okay, and forcefully he is saying that thing. If a sentence which is said by anyone to you or to anyone forcefully, Then in the last we will put exclamatory mark. Otherwise, if it is going in general way or normal or if it is showing request, then you will put here full stop only. Okay? If it is giving forcefully, then you will put exclamatory mark. Otherwise, all the time you will put only full stop only. Now see example. As I have told you, it gives command. First one is wash your hand. Here. Okay. I have written here wash your hand. I am strictly as a teacher because in this crucial period we should have to wash our hand. That's why I am telling you forcefully. I am saying wash your hand. Okay. Wash your hand. That's why it is giving command. I am giving command to you. So it goes in imperative sentence. Sometimes it can be your advice. Wash your hand. If smoothly I am saying wash your hand, it means I am giving you suggestion or advice. But here as a teacher I am saying forcefully wash your hand because you are a child. Okay. So sometimes it happens you get bored that I don't want to wash my hand again and again. But please wash your hand. So I am saying this forcefully. That's why in the last I put exclamatory mark and it is command only. Okay. Consider this sentence as command here. Now the second, please write down this example. Here you can see, please write down this example. So as I have told you, please, this word shows request, please or kindly, these are the words which shows request. So I am requesting you, please write down this example. I am requesting here. So it is also your imperative sentence. Okay. I am requesting, that's why here I put only full stop. Okay class. Now fourth kind is, first one is declarative. Declarative has two parts. First one is affirmative, second one is negative. And in the last of declarative you have to put full stop. Second one is your interrogative. Interrogative sentences are used to ask question. There are two types of interrogative. First one is yes no type and the second one is WH type. Okay. So in yes no type, it will start with the help of helping verb and simply you can give reply of this type of question in only yes or no. But in WH type, you have to see one thing. The answer which you are giving on the particular question, that shows complete sense. And always it will start with WH word, just like what, when, where, how many, how much, who. All these words are WH word. In the last again you will put question mark only. In imperative sentences, you need to see that if the sentences are showing request, command, suggestion, advice, order, then it is your imperative sentence only. Now the fourth part is, and in the last of imperative sentence, sometimes you have to put, if it is if the sentence is saying forcefully to you or to anyone, then you will put exclamatory mark, and if it is going in general way, then you will put full stop only. Now fourth one is exclamatory. Fourth type or kind of sentence is exclamatory sentence. Now here in exclamatory sentences shows sudden feeling or emotion of anyone. If there is a sentence and if it is the sentence itself is showing feeling or emotion, then it is considered as exclamatory sentence. And as the name is showing exclamatory, so it always ends with exclamatory mark. Understood? And this exclamatory sentences never go in negativity. It does not show any negativity. It is always in positive sense. Now for example, what a pleasant day. I have written here what a pleasant day. Yes, it's my feeling. Today is a pleasant day for me. Okay, because indirectly or directly I met you today. So it is today is a pleasant day for me. It is pleasant day for me. So I am showing my feeling here. In the last also, I am putting exclamatory mark here the condition is fulfilled and this one is exclamatory sentence. Okay. Second, how sweet you are. I'm saying how sweet you are, how cute you are. Yes, you all are so sweet, so cute, so humble. That's why I'm showing my feeling toward you. So it is your exclamatory sentence because I am showing feeling or my emotions, and it always ends with exclamatory mark. So it is your exclamatory sentence. Now it is the last one sentence, kinds of sentence, that is in your book it is not given. As I have told you before starting this kinds of sentence, as I have told you that you will get only 4 kinds, but one more kind is there, so that kind I am going to teach you right now. So here the 5th one is your optative sentence. Okay, 5th one is optative sentence. This optative sentence shows wish, desire, or if we are doing prayer. So if we are doing prayer, that sentence also goes in optative sentence only. Understood? You can put exclamatory mark, you can put sometime only, you can put also full stop. Okay. Now suppose in your birthday, when you come in the staff room in lunch break, so you always touch our feet and we are saying, may God bless you. This sentence, may God bless you. Here I am showing my pray. Here I am praying that God is, please God give him all the blessings of the entire world. So here may God bless you. This is showing prayer. So it is your optative sentence. One more example I am giving. We pray to God to save entire world. We pray to God to save entire world from the coronavirus pandemic. So we are praying. Nowadays everyone is praying. Okay. So this sentence, we pray to God, we are praying here. So it is your optative sentence only. Understood? If sentence shows wish or desire or show prayer, then it is your optative sentence. Don't forget. This optative sentence also I am teaching. That's why please don't forget. This is also a kind of sentence. And please make it sure all the time in God. In God, G is always in capital letter. Understood? Because it shows proper noun. And for God, if we are writing he or if we are providing he, then also in he S should be capital letter. I think I have taught you in class 6. So don't forget all these things. These are basic things that you must know. Okay, class. So here kinds of sentence I have told about 5 kinds. First one is declarative, second one is interrogative, third one is imperative, fourth one is exclamatory, and the last one is optative sentence. Okay. So in declarative sentence you get a statement, fact or idea, opinion about anything, and it should be always, it should show, it has 2 types. It start with capital letter and end with full stop. First type is affirmative sentence and the second type is negative sentence. Affirmative sentence shows positivity and negative sentence show negation, and in negative sentence you can get the words like no, not, nothing, never, neither, like this. Okay. Now the second type is interrogative sentence. In interrogative sentence it is used to ask question and it always ends with question mark. Okay. It always ends with question mark. In interrogative sentence again you are getting 2 types. First is yes no type. Yes no type sentence always start with helping verb or auxiliary verb. And you can only give answer in yes or no, and it itself can give whole reply. Okay, complete sense it can show. Now the second type is WH1. WH type Sentence, interrogative sentence always start with WH word, just like why, what, where, how many, how much, who, all this word. And the answer of this type of question should always be in complete sense. Okay? And it always ends with question mark. Now third is imperative sentence. In imperative sentence, it shows request, request, command, order, suggestion, advice. If this sentence is showing, it means this is your imperative sentence only. Imperative sentence, sometimes it ends with exclamatory and sometimes it ends with full stop. If the sentence is saying by anyone forcefully, then it will end with exclamatory. If the imperative sentence is saying by somebody in general way, then it will end with full stop. Okay? Now, after imperative, exclamatory sentences come. Exclamatory sentences shows feeling or emotion. Okay, the sentence shows feeling or emotion of, sudden feeling or emotion of anyone. Okay, and it always ends with exclamatory mark. Now the last is optative. I'm again and again saying don't forget this sentence too, because when we will meet directly, so I will ask you what is optative sentence. It is not given in your book. Optative sentence shows prayer, wish or desire. Okay, best example is may God bless you. And it can end it, sometimes it ends with exclamatory, sometimes it ends with full stop. Okay, so this was our today's session. Now we will meet in next session. Till then, keep healthy and fit. Thank you class. Thank you so much.